Yeah, hi, I'm Scott Warner, a financial advisor, which is what Artie was just picking on, which is okay because I'm a perfect candidate to get picked on because I fall into the perfect question. Been at it 30 years in Southern California. So, Ari, I obviously know the trust building versus the fact finding,
Sure.
but being 30 years in, it's so easy to just start with the right idea in mind, start with trying to do it, and before you know it. So, my challenge to you is, or question for you is, in this kind of broad thing, is how do I know when accidentally I'm not even aware of it? I'm being asked questions and etc. that before long I start off in the trust building, and then before long I'm into the fact finding. Like, here's a few examples. Hey Scott, what are your fees? Hey Scott, do you believe in Roth IRAs? Scott, do you sell annuities? So those kinds of questions, even though I might start off with, "Hey, all right, tell me why you reached out today. Tell me a little bit about your situation, concerns, worries you might have." I start out that way, and then they just kind of lose sight, and they just pop one of those questions, and before long, I'm having to defend or kind of
Yep.
back up a little bit in defensive mode to try and get back over there, but sometimes it's hard to get back over there.
Sure. I mean, fundamentally, when you use our one-call sale process and you have that initial conversation with them, you should be one asking them the questions. They should not be the one asking you the questions because you're the doctor, they're the patient. And and I know it's easy for them to shift and start asking you questions, and you feel it's your obligation to educate, respond, and continue on because we've been conditioned to believe our job is to educate the prospect on the call because we hope that education impresses us enough to go, wow, he knows so much. We should go hire him. And the real shift with that, Scott, is that your job on these conversations is not to build value with them or show them or give them education or show them how good you are. Instead, the goal is to provide them with clarity on the expansiveness of their problem, identify the urgency of what they want to move forward. And one thing to share with you that can prevent you from some of this is here's one key thing not to do. Never ask anybody on an initial call, which is this phrase, ask, do you have any questions? Now that's going to sound so contrarian because we've been taught our whole career to ask that question.
Right.
That question there opens up the hole that you drop into sometimes that moves you from the trust building mode to the other mode. So rather than saying you have any questions, just you say, hold those questions and let's cover those in our first session together where I can do a deep dive with you and assess your situation. Then I can do it all at one time. Let's just, on this call, make sure that we're a good fit by me understanding your situation, walk you through my roadmap, and if you're comfortable with that, we'll kind of go from there. Are you guys okay with that?
Okay, so I mean, you got to answer it like you said, but I don't specifically need to answer it directly. I mean, you and I have talked a little bit in the past about how to deal with the fees one.
Well, don't encourage the questions.
Right.
Don't go back with, what do you think? Do you have any more questions? Do you have any more thoughts? Don't prompt that because that
if they still come, which they do, even when I'm not prompting,
that's okay.
How to still get back. I got to answer it.
You simply say, hold those questions.
All right.
Let's cover that in a next session together where I can do a deep dive with you and really go deep on everything you might need. That's how you do it in a nice way.
Okay. That's great. So I got to address it, right? But that's a great
address it. Just use the word hold. Please hold those questions. Let's cover that in our next session together.
Okay. Yeah.
All right.
That's a good way because I know in the past we've kind of talked about the fee one, and I've kind of told them I'd get to it, but right now I don't know your situation and
exactly
diagnose, and then I push it back off. So it's kind of the similar way, but maybe just hold the questions is even easier.
Keep things in sequence, lockstep, one step at a time, so they don't cross over each other. Thanks. Good to see you again, Scott. Thanks for coming.
Yeah, you bet, man. That's very helpful. Thank you very much for the help. Take care.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.